Hey guys, welcome to the chat. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay and see me okay. How are you? I won't keep talking until someone's like, "We can hear you." I did a live stream the other day, not on YouTube, but on Instagram, and someone was like, "We can't hear you." And I'm like, "Oh God, I just said a whole 15 minutes worth of words." So, if you guys can hear me, let me know. Type it in the comments section. That way I can get started. We're going to wrap up about 7, and that would be 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much, Daima, if I'm saying that correctly. I appreciate you confirming that for me. Let me go back and just welcome some of you. And please forgive my small screen. I don't have my tech guy with me today, and I don't know how to change my resolution right now. So, and I'm scared to death. If you see all that's down here, you'd be terrified too. I'm scared to move it because then I'm probably going to do something wrong and we won't have a live chat. Um, so forgive that this small screen, but let me go back and just welcome you. Hello, Cherry's Jubilee. Welcome to the chat. So glad to see you on here. Courtney Frazier and Dima, hello. Welcome to the chat as well. Elizabeth, welcome to the chat. Glad to see you. And awesome. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I appreciate you confirming that for me. And I'm going to wait on the other guys to get here as well. Hello, Chris Andrews. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for confirming. Sun Kissed Dark and Dainty01. Welcome to the chat and thank you for confirming that as well. Glad to see you guys. So I'm going to jump in, okay? And more people will probably come on as I start talking. Yep. Hi, Kia. Welcome to the chat as well. I Yes, Ronald Zion. Hello, welcome to the chat. Glad to see you as well. Dima. Got it. Dima. Thank you for that. That's very helpful. Hi, TH. Welcome to the chat. Glad to see you sign on as well. So this live chat is going to be somewhat short because we have a pretty long video on Sunday. It's a little bit long, maybe 16-15 minutes long. And I'm going to be teasing apart the process of detoxing from poisonous relationships. Now, let me just explain what I think is a poisonous relationship before we delve into this. I think poisonous relationships and even my field of psychology can kind of back this up. Poisonous relationships are those kind of relationships where you not only feel unheard, but you feel unloved, unimportant, minimized, mistreated, abused, and manipulated. That is a poisonous relationship. And all of those things must exist together in order for it to be categorized as a poisonous relationship. Now, I'm talking about relationships in general for this live chat, but you can definitely use this same live chat to explain maybe relationships within your family, relationships within your friend group. The list goes on. But a poisonous relationship is almost like, and I may have said this in a previous video that I did on this topic. It's kind of like, you're in this field. Kind of visualize this with me. You're kind of in this field, right? And it's like a cornfield, and there's all kind of trees and plants and vegetables all over the place. But as pretty as it looks and as nice as it looks on the outside, down beneath the roots, right, or underneath, is just all of these weeds growing, and you need to kind of snatch them up so that you can then get to the nice parts of that field, if that makes sense. And so a poisonous relationship is like that. It may look good externally, but underneath the surface there's a ton of weeds that needs to be pulled up in order for you to be healthy, and in order for you to feel loved and respected. So that's the definition of a poisonous relationship. Now, let me briefly explain detoxing. Detoxing is slowly pulling away from an individual who is harmful to you, manipulative, and at the core, if you ask me, very evil, right? They always want some leg up, right? Or they always have a leg up. And that could be because of financial dependency, that could be codependency, that could be trauma bonding, whatever. What's the word I'm looking for, guys? Whatever it is that they have that you need, right? They always have a leg up over you. that is a poisonous relationship. Detoxing from that is really difficult, right? Especially if you're codependent or you're kind of sucked in to a trauma bond. Now, for me and some of my colleagues who discuss relationship dynamics and family dynamics, the detoxing part of everything is a three-step process. The first step is, how do I recognize that there's something under here that I need to deal with? A lot of people just kind of go through relationships with blinders on because they love to be loved, or they love the idea of love, or they love the idea of family as everything, or they love the idea of going to friends and coworkers and telling them, this is my spouse, this is my family member, that whole relationship thing that society has kind of forced us into. A lot of people get stuck in that. They don't have the ability to look outside of that relationship that's not healthy and say, wait a minute, is there something off here? So the first step to detoxing is, how do I recognize something's wrong? Is it intuitive? Is it psychological? How do I figure out what's wrong? That's the first step for detoxing. The second step is, I've recognized it. Now I need to figure out what in the world to do about it, right? And that could be a really long process. I just had someone come into the office as a new patient, a new client a couple weeks ago. And the first thing that she said to me was, okay, I recognize something is wrong in my marriage and in my family system, but how in the world do I get out of this? Like, if I make a left turn, we're going to end up in court. If I make a right turn, we're going to end up in a huge dispute. And that's going to take a lot of money and a lot of pain, sweat, and tears, right? And if I look straight ahead into my future and act like this person doesn't exist in my world, they're going to get offended and we're going to get into a fight, and like, I feel trapped. And so, it's okay, I see a problem, but now how in the world do I get out of this? So that's the second part of that, detoxing. You got to figure out what to do and what's wise. And the third part of that is, how do I stay out of it? Because once you recognize it, you know what to do. Now you're leaving the situation, or you're trying to get away or minimize or whatever you need to do with that relationship. And especially if it's a family relationship, now you need to ask yourself, okay, what do I do to stay out of it? Because there's guilt most likely going to come from me walking away or blocking you or minimizing contact with you. Or you're going to reach out for me and I'm not going to know what to do because I'm going to want to reach back, or I'm going to maybe feed you a little bit with a text exchange and then back off, right? So one more time, guys, detoxing is recognizing what's going on, figuring out what to do about it, and then lastly, figuring out how to stay out of it. Okay, so that's kind of like the intro to this live chat. So let me go back to the comments section, because you guys are really chit-chatting here and I don't want to miss anything. Okay, yeah. So I don't know what you mean. Cheers, Jubilee. Did you plug in? Tell me what you mean by that, because I'm not sure. And I don't want to answer the wrong thing. Hi, Lisa. Welcome to the chat. So glad to see you as well. Hello from California. Okay, I'm going to try this. If you guys have been here with me before, which most of you have, I don't know how to pronounce half the screen names that I see, so please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing this, but it's Amperl Evis Francisco. Hello, welcome to the chat. I'm sure I messed that up. Forgive me. Welcome to the chat as well. Paige Matodi, hello, welcome to the chat. Glad to see you. I like what Lisa says. She's going back to my analogy about kind of picking up weeds and pulling weeds. She says, where did it go? I lost it that quick. Oh, she says, weed your garden regularly. Yeah, yeah. I'm actually going to take from that, Lisa, and say, in order to weed your garden regularly or tend to that poisonous relationship, you probably should, if you're going to stay in contact with this person, this family member, this parent, whatever, then you're probably going to need to set some boundaries and then check and check again over time if your boundaries are still healthy, in place, and make sense for your kind of relationship. So I like that. Weed your garden regularly. Yeah, maybe it is leverage. I think you're talking to me, Cherry's Jubilee. I think the word I was looking for is leverage. Hello. Oh, thank you for that, Cherry's Jubilee. Hello, One Love. Welcome to the chat. Glad to see you, says. Great topic. Choose healing and peace. It's healthy to be okay with walking away. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for that. This is a pretty, oh, Cherry's Jubilee, you're wonderful. I did not plug in my phone, and I probably should have my, okay, wait a minute. Thank you, Cherry's Jubilee. Here's my charger right here. I'm going to set it up. So let me set this up. This happens to me every live chat, I swear. And I forget to plug things in and oh my God. Okay, hold on, hold on. She's right, she's right. I wish you could see what's going on behind the scenes here. You would crack up. All right, it's all plugged in, Cherry's Jubilee. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, One Love says, a great topic. Choose healing and peace. It's healthy to be okay with walking away. I agree with that. I think a lot of people believe that if you walk away from your family, if you walk away from a negative relationship, if you walk away from a relationship that looks good on the outside, that something is wrong with you. And that is not the case. You have the right to have peace of mind. And if that means detoxing, walking away, putting up boundaries, do it. So I agree with that. Cheers, Judy says next one is going to be a wrong button. Oh my God, I really hope not. I hope not. I hope not. Okay, so get into this content. Okay, guys, let's jump into what needs to happen in order to detox. So I just got done explaining, what a poisonous relationship is. How do you detox? Now let's talk about further steps to detox. Then I'm going to talk about the kind of attachment style that you may have that can kind of contribute to this poisonous relationship in a negative way. So the first thing that I suggest in terms of, kind of escaping from this unhealthy kind of dynamic, this relationship, family, marriage, whatever, is I think you need to identify your coping style, but also identify your attachment style. I'll put it that way. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. Your attachment style. So if you have, and I know a lot of you know this, if you have an insecure attachment as a child to a parent, as an adult to maybe somebody else, it's going to be really difficult for you to detox because you can, but it's going to be difficult. You can't really walk away from a unhealthy relationship if you don't know why you're so attached to it, right? Because I'm sure a lot of you say within yourself and in your mind, why am I still holding on to this family member? Why am I still texting this person? Why am I still looking at their social media? Like, they hurt me, they disappointed me, whatever. Why am I still attached? Part of that is because you may not be aware of what your attachment style is. So you want to learn that. I would Google it. I also have a video on attachment styles. And so I will put that in the description box right after this live chat goes off. But the number one thing, that is my suggestion, figure out what your attachment style is. And of course, a little bit later, in the next 10 minutes or so, I'm going to talk a little bit about 3 important attachment styles that you may actually, be experiencing yourself. But know what that attachment style is. The other thing is become more attuned to the mind-body connection. You can't walk away from a person or detox if you don't understand the connection between this, and your soul. Right? So you have to be able to have some knowledge about, okay, this is what's happening in my brain. Here are the thoughts that I'm having. I'm in fight or flight mode right now. Here's how my thoughts are like flying through my head. My negative self-talk is really burdensome to me. It's causing me to feel inadequate or insecure or unimportant, right? So you want to know and pay attention to what's going on inside your mind, right? Then you also want to understand how your brain is reacting to this poisonous relationship. You're most likely in fight or flight mode, or what we call a central nervous system dominance, right? Which is kind of your body just like almost like it's almost like pressing on a gas pedal, right? When you're in front of something or a part of something that's threatening, everything kind of speeds up, your heart rate goes up, your thoughts speed, you start sweating, you start feeling panic, the list goes on, right? So you want to be able to learn whenever you can while you're trying to detox, what's the connection between my mind, my brain, my heart, and my soul. I told a client yesterday, I have a client that's in a toxic relationship, and this is within her family, and she says to me, how in the world do I get out of this? And I told her that your mind knows what it needs to do, but your heart hasn't caught up. Your mind knows what it needs to do. Your heart hasn't caught up. So my homework for her, and you may want to do this yourself if you're in this predicament, I told her, I need you to journal for me. I need you to have some private time by yourself to process your own thoughts, to process what you're feeling. Write it down, record it on a phone, download an app, do something so that you can get in touch with your mind and your brain and get in touch with your heart and your soul. Once you grasp all of that, then you can be strong enough to move to the next stage of the detoxing from that unhealthy relationship. The next step is educate yourself and stay in the mindset of learning. A lot of you are doing that on my channel all the time. So behind the scenes, and you can't see what's going on, even if I were to pull it up on my phone, but I think I may do some kind of YouTube short where I show you all my equipment and all my stuff back here. But if I go on my channel, I can click on YouTube analytics and I can see how many times you guys watch my videos. I can see how many times you've given me a thumbs up, which I think is only once. I can see, statistics of what you watch on other channels. It is so cool what we influencers, if you will. I don't even consider myself an influencer, but YouTuber. It's interesting how we have access to those analytics. So I see that a lot of you are constantly watching certain videos, you're learning, you're engaging, you're plugged in because you're soaking up that knowledge, right? So next step, third step, again, is educate yourself and stay in the mindset of learning. That's really the only way that you can kind of detox from this poisonous relationship in a healthy way. You have to know what's going on with you. And that's through education for the most part. You also want to build healthy connections with people in your group, right? Friends, family members that are healthy, coworkers that are healthy, and even channels where I am, right? Because you guys are just so supportive of not only me, but everybody else on the channel. That is building strong connections. Do you guys know each other personally? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But at least for this moment in time, you know each other, and that is fantastic. That's great support. But building those external connections is going to be healthy. Consider, for example, you want to detox from your narcissistic mother who's been abusive for many years. You decide to walk away. You figured out what happened to you as a child. You now feel that you have CPTSD or you've been abused in some way. You recognize it, and now you need to learn how to get out of it. You're on YouTube and you're searching around, you're trying to figure it out, right? In addition to all of that, building strong connections outside of YouTube is important, right? So grasping other people or bringing other people, that's the word I'm looking for, bringing other people into your realm of existence is going to be a healthy thing. You also want to reparent yourself. Now, I did a video a couple months ago on reparenting yourself. I'll explain it briefly here and I'll put it in the description box after this live chat goes off. But reparenting yourself is really this. It's giving your heart, soul, and mind everything that it didn't get in your relationship with your parents. So let's say you grew up in a really cold, dominating, abusive household. Your development over time was unhealthy, and you never really had the love and support that you needed. And so now you're an adult. Maybe you have CPTSD, complex PTSD. Maybe you have depression and anxiety or something much more serious like a personality disorder, like borderline personality or maybe bipolar disorder. Let's say that that's you. The way that you can reparent yourself is either finding people that you love and you trust to pull into your space, or giving yourself the love and attention you never got from your parent, or finding somebody else who can kind of play that surrogate role. I had a client one time told me the only reason her 7-year-old son didn't want to leave therapy is because I reminded him of his mom so much. Was that a healthy connection? Not always, no. Maybe for my 7-year-old kiddo that came to therapy at the time, I thought it was healthy for him. He needed that mother figure to help him get from one state of mind to the next. And so you can find somebody out there, pull them into your space in a healthy way. And if you guys are in a relationship of some kind, a neighbor, a dear friend, maybe a extended family member like a great aunt, you can pull them into your world to kind of help you reparent yourself. It really is the process of finding love, support, and peace of mind in a different area of life. Okay, so let me pause. Let me go to the chat box, okay? I don't want to miss what you guys are saying. Okay. Ronald Zion says, through your sessions, I've learned the art of mastering the mirror, healing, and self-accountability. Oh, that's so awesome, Ronald. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm so glad that through the live chats, through the videos, all of that, I'm really glad that they're helpful. And I love that you call them sessions. One of my clients said that. She's like, I went on YouTube one day just to watch you live, and she's like, that's a therapy session. I'm like, oh, is it? Maybe I should start charging. I don't know. Okay, Fairy Girl, hello. Welcome to the chat. Glad to see you as well. Sun-Kissed Dark and Dainty 01 says, is walking away from an avoidance that doesn't respond after some time toxic? So is walking away from an avoidant that doesn't respond after some time toxic? Not at all, especially if you've given them ample time to respond. So let's say for an example, you're in a relationship with someone, they have an avoidant kind of personality, or maybe they have the avoidant personality disorder. You've been trying to talk to them. Maybe you've texted them multiple times. Maybe you've tried to ring them multiple times. Maybe you've emailed them, right? Or maybe you've just sent them a text that was to the point, or maybe you call them and they are to respond. The ball is in their court and they don't. Walk away. I mean, I think they've already told you by not answering what steps they're not going to take, which is communicating with you. Now, sometimes, and I probably should be fair by saying this, sometimes people just don't respond. They either forget. Naturally, life is too busy and too fast for them, they forget, or they don't know what to say at the moment, so they're building a moment of pause so that they can process how to respond. So I think that's a fair way to look at that. But, if it's been ample time, I don't think walking away is toxic at all. At all. Oh, wait a minute, guys. Did I hit the wrong button again? Oh my Lord, I swear. I need to go to a YouTube class all over again because I hit the wrong buttons every single chat. TH, I'm going to read your comment. You say, it hurts so much to rip up the grass in your garden. I think that nothing will grow except of this grass. Okay, I think I understand what you're saying. That analogy that I gave you about the garden and pulling up those weeds, it does hurt because usually, you really have to dig deep to find that poison and then get rid of it. And I think most humans get, what's the word I'm used to? They kind of get conditioned to the way that a relationship operates and functions, and a dynamic is built. And that dynamic is how you respond to them, how they respond to you, who says what, who doesn't say what, that, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen this, that what's the word I'm looking for? That communication, that silent communication between twins. It's kind of interesting to watch them and how they can look at each other and understand what each other is saying. They can talk at the same time. They can have the same ideas. There's this dynamic between them, and it's kind of like this reciprocal dynamic, and only they know what it is. That is basically how human beings within a relationship operate, whether that's a healthy or an unhealthy relationship. So, it's really hard to rip up that foundation when you've become so close, and that relationship has been so cemented. And now you have to go back and just rip up all these weeds. And that reality is painful, right? Because then you have to try to figure out, how do I reposition myself in my life and in a new relationship maybe? Or how do I reposition myself outside this relationship that's toxic, right? Boy, there's so much that we could talk about relating to that, TH, but I hope that answered your question, or I hope I addressed your comment there. I think it was a great comment. Let me look at the top chats. Hold on. I don't want to hit the wrong button to do the wrong thing. Ronald Zion, thank you so much. Where did it go? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, here we go. Ronald Zion, thank you so much for that sweet donation. I appreciate you. And he says, thank you for all you do for us. Yes, you're welcome. And thank you for that. You guys sincerely do not have to do that. So I'm always grateful when you do. Thank you. And Cheery's Jubilee. Thank you for yours as well. That's so sweet of you. And says a copay. I love you all. That's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so let me go back to the chat box. Hold on, bear with me. All right, so let's go back to the live chat. This is so slow and it lags on my end. Here we are. Okay. Okay, so One Love says, my attachment was how my mom and dad raised us, my siblings and I, to be there for one another regardless. But as an adult, I learned about narcissistic behaviors different from mental health issues. I can't do it. Yeah, absolutely. That's that social mental conditioning that we as a society have been over for many years, which is family is everything. Siblings are everything. Don't ever go against your parents. Don't ever go against your sibling. While that is correct within the proper context, while that's correct within the proper context, it's not the truth for everything and everybody. And so I learned before I hit 25, and after I hit 32, I learned very well, personally and professionally, that family is not everything if they hurt you. Siblings, you can stay connected to them and love them if they love you and respect you. But if they're going to hurt you, abuse you, and mistreat you, that relationship is also not even worth you sticking around for, right? Or continuing to be abused by or hurt by. So you're right. Once you learn about personality disorders, or you learn better, as my grandmother used to say, when you learn better, you do better. And I agree with that. I agree with that. Lisa says, what are your options for handicapped adult siblings? It's exhausting. Ooh, expound on that a little bit for me, Lisa, just so I can target that a little bit more. I do want to comment on that one for sure. Hi, Sean Hammer. Oh, welcome to the chat. Glad to see you. Welcome. Yeah, One Love says, yes, Miss Tamara, I only want healthy people connection, not interested in toxic people. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yep. Ronald Zion says, I've learned the hard way. Codependency will keep you connected to dysfunctional relationships. It will. It will. And I'm going to talk about why you may have been codependent in just a second here. Yeah, Fairy Girl says, warning. I love the warning sign. Says, it feels strange to authentically trust yourself to keep you safe. It does. It does. And again, that's because of a societal teaching. We've been taught, stay connected to your family, stay connected to relationships, stay connected, right? And because of that, you're right. It feels off to step outside of that and do your own thing. It really does. Hello, David Kais. Hopefully I said that correct. Welcome to the chat. Says first time in live chat here. Been subscriber since November. Wow. Welcome to the chat. And thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad to have you. Pam Chesler, we're going to get into the content again, so bear with me, guys. Pam Chesler says, it's so difficult after self-healing to find other healthy people who are doing the same. Not sure where to meet such people. Ooh, yeah. So wait, let me go over that again, Pam. It is so difficult after self-healing to find other healthy people who are doing the same. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know where to find those people either. And as a therapist that has an international following, Like I could go to the UK, I can't figure out where to find those groups. I could go to Canada, I can't figure out where to find those groups. Like there is nothing, and especially online, it's almost like this is a huge void, which is why my channel exists in the first place. I saw this void years ago, and I thought we need some information here, so that's why this channel exists. But to find those support groups and those kind of people who are doing the same thing, I can't find it either. If you find it, Pam, let me know, because we really are short on resources in this area. Okay, all right, let's get back into the content, guys. I think we left off at reparenting yourself. Let me also add that it's important to educate yourself about intergenerational trauma, and family estrangement. If you're going to detox or walk away from that unhealthy relationship, you need to know, what are the patterns in my family from years ago? What are those patterns, and am I following those patterns? You also want to learn about estrangement, right? Family estrangement. That changes the dynamic of not only that family that maybe you're running away from, but also your new relationships. And here's how. Family estrangement means you are making a very important and serious decision to step away from a family dynamic, a family system that you have grown up in, that you have become attached to. And that attachment influences how you think about things, how you feel about things, how you see things. So there are specific dynamics that are coming to play when you decide to walk away. And so your heart is going to be different, your mind is going to be, everything's going to be different about you once you fall into that category of family estrangement. So you want to learn about that. What are the books that I can get? What are the videos I can watch? I'll post some of my videos in the description box for you. You want to get some knowledge about intergenerational trauma. How did it impact you and your family? And then you want to learn about family estrangement, so that when you get into the next relationship, whatever that is, then you will be of a healthy mindset to understand how to step into a new space and how to navigate your heart and your mind. I hope that makes sense. So you want to do that. And the other thing is grounding techniques. Now, if I could speak, I suggest this. If you are either considering leaving that relationship or you're long gone, grounding techniques are great. It's journaling, poetry, expressive arts, music, prayer, just kind of incorporating or bringing into your realm those spiritual or expressive art like things can really help not only regulate your central nervous system or the fight or flight system, but it can also heal. It can also aid in healing, I should say, CPTSD and post-traumatic stress disorder. So there's some science behind grounding techniques. And I also think it's good to just engage in them to kind of get you to a centering place where you can understand your own mind and your own heart a little bit better. Okay. So you might be wondering, what happens to me if I am in that toxic, unhealthy, poisonous relationship? What in the world is happening to me? And did this start many years ago where, I just became a victim to this poisonous cycle of being connected to other people? What's going on? So you might want to ask yourself or your therapist if you have one, and even do your own introspection. You may want to focus on what's called the avoidant attachment style, the ambivalent attachment style, and the disorganized attachment style. So let me start with the avoidant, okay? So if you grew up, I'll put it this way, if you grew up in a home with parents who were risky, like you couldn't really depend on them. They're there one moment, gone the next. They're not really dependable. They loved you for a little bit of time and then they push you away. They have other things to do, more important things to do. So let's say that was your household growing up. You may grow up into an adult who is also avoidant. And your avoidance may be so deep that you fear love, you fear connection, you fear abandonment, you fear just about anything relating to a relationship, even if it's your own family. engaging in a healthy relationship may be tough for you. As a child, adolescent, maybe young adult, maybe you found yourself latching on to everyone, and it may have been to a level that's clinical, meaning, somebody smiles at you and waves at you, you're ready to make them your friend, or you're in a romantic relationship for 2 months and you're ready to marry them. Sometimes dealing with toxic relationships, growing up over time, you can develop an avoidant attachment, but then you can also become, as an adult, very clingy and very fearful of other relationships. So that's the impact on you of an unhealthy relationship. You can become avoidant. You can also become ambivalent. If you're dealing with a toxic or unhealthy relationship, you can become ambivalent. Do I really want to be here? Do I not? Do I like this? Do I not? Right? It's always this back and forth. I'm not sure, or some kind of anxiety at the core of how you engage in relationships. And again, I'm blaming you being around that toxic relationship. It's not you that's the issue. It's what that toxic relationship has done to you, and maybe you grew up with it. That's another part of this as well. So you can be ambivalent, when you're ambivalent, you can also be really overly reactive. So let's say, you're dealing with a family member, you decide to walk away, you love them, but you also want to get away. You care. Oh boy, I think my battery is gone, guys. I don't know why though. I don't know if you can see me. If you can see me, hold on. Let me see if you can. I don't know if you can. That's the scary part. Hold on, guys. Ugh. Let's see here. Wonder if I can. No battery power remains. Hmm. Hear me? Can you hear me now? I won't say I won't say anything. I won't move. I can tell by fairy girl. No. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Can you hear me now? Wonderful. Okay, great. I unhooked all my camera stuff. I swear I should be the most interesting YouTuber on YouTube. Okay, because I have the worst luck. Those of you who know me. Oh my God. So, okay. Let me hold on. Let me unhook things. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you guys. Love you for letting me know. All right, hold on. I just cannot believe my computer completely died. I really can't. But anyway, the show must go on. I'm so sorry about that. Yes, wonderful. I apologize to you all. You guys are so lovely. Okay, I don't even know where I was. I think I was talking about ambivalent attachment, where you're kind of, you know, here and you're there and you're uncertain and you're certain, and you can develop that ambivalent part of you because of the toxicity of that relationship. The other thing that I was going to mention uh, was disorganized attachment. And that's an attachment, oh Lord, that's an attachment where you might actually feel like a chameleon, you know? You're constantly changing in that relationship. It's almost like you have a hard time understanding other people's emotions. Now, this may not be you, but some disorganized attachments within a relationship could be that way, that you can't really understand the other person's emotions. You're kind of all over the place in that relationship. And you might take on two different styles of attachment. One is controlling, and the other is a caregiving attachment, meaning you're just the parent figure in almost every relationship that you're in. Okay, so in a nutshell, after you come away from a toxic, unhealthy, poisonous relationship, you may want to do some introspection and ask yourself, is my attachment style secure, meaning that it's healthy and it's balanced? Is it insecure, meaning that I can't really attach to people without anxiety? Is it ambivalent? Am I back and forth and anxious, because I'm uncertain? Or is it avoidant, right? No, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to date you. I don't want to talk to my uncle. I don't want to do any of that because I'm afraid. Or is it disorganized, where you change like a chameleon in and out of places within that relationship? Okay, we got it all out before the live chat made some other things happen to go wrong. Woo! I swear, I feel like I almost had a panic attack. Okay, let me go back, guys. Let me go back to what you were saying. Hold on, guys. You guys are so awesome trying to help me understand what happened to my camera. Okay, Courtney Fraser says, I am having difficulty leaving my parents' home despite it being bad for my mental health. It is because I don't have a place to live or the finances to be by myself. I'm having a difficult time leaving my parents' home despite it being bad for my mental health. Yes, Courtney Fraser, I'm so sorry that is happening to you. I think you may have mentioned this a couple times. On my live chats, I think it has been. And when you're in a predicament like that, the best thing to do is what you're doing now, which is watching lives, really trying to connect yourself with, some of the things we're talking about, communicating with other people that are in, situations like your own, seeing a therapist, engaging in things that are healthy and that can help you cope until you can get away. That's the best way to navigate that. That's a hard one. All right, let me keep going, guys. Um, Hold on, guys. Bear with me. I'm just trying to catch up. Sunkissed Dark and Dainty '01 says, I started following you at my lowest when I walked away from every relative. Your show was a blessing years ago. At times, I didn't want to go on, but your vids were there. You helped me to see that you walking was okay. Oh, that's so sweet. Sun kissed dark and dainty '01. That's so touching, and thank you for sharing that. And I'm so glad that I could be a part of that journey for you and with you, because that's a hard move. Once you decide, and this is for all of you watching, once you decide to like walk away, that's a lot, because you're gonna have to deal with the emotions connected to that. So, and the psychology that your mind goes through too. So, I'm glad that you found my channel and that you were able to do what you needed to do. All right, let me keep going, guys. Oh, I have to read this. One Love is so sweet. At Sun Kissed Dark and Dainty '01 says, I want you to know you are not alone. Most times that is the healthiest thing to do, is walk away and heal. Love and blessings. That is so sweet of you. One Love, thank you for supporting Sun Kiss Dark and Dainty '01. Thank you for doing that. That's so sweet. Okay, let me keep going. Jubilee says, I'll come film you. Oh my God, you're awesome. Thank you. I need somebody to help me at those moments when I don't know what I'm doing. It's horrible. It's horrible. You would laugh if you saw some of the things that I have like hooked up. You would laugh, like, yeah, you would crack up. Okay. I'm a YouTuber, not a I'm a therapist, not a YouTuber. That's the problem. All right. Failed foster dog mom, hello, welcome to the chat. So glad to have you. You missed all of the hilarious footage that just happened earlier. But failed foster dog mom says, can you have different styles with different people? Yes, you can. And that is a fantastic question. Yes, you can. You can have an insecure attachment with your husband because your father mistreated you as you were growing up. You can have a secure attachment with your female boss because in childhood your mother was your everything. You could have an avoidant attachment in romantic relationships because your family relationships have traumatized you so much. So absolutely, you can have various attachment styles depending on the relationship. Let me also say, depending on the culture and the age that you are, can also impact attachment. So I have a client who is from Japan, and she's been here for 5 years, and she's still trying to go through the acculturation process of getting kind of acclimated to the US even after 5 years. And there is no such thing as attachment style in Japan because everything they do is different there. The way that they see parenting, the way they see families, the way they see relationships are very different from us. So she has a very avoidant attachment style because of how strict her parents were over the years in Japan. So your culture can change that, and so can your age. So can your age. All right, let me keep going, guys. I don't want to miss anything. Fairy girl. Ooh. Fairy Girl says, right about the time you think you ain't gonna get it, you will, and it will be a moment in the past you thought you were gonna not make it. Did I read there? Did I read that right? Yes, I think I did. Yes, Cherry's Jubilee. Thank you for that. I love that. Right when you think you're not gonna get it, you do get it. That's what I heard. Sean Hammer says the scapegoating goes on, but thanks to you, Tamara, I am bulletproof to it now. That's wonderful. Sean Hammer says putting all at risk. I found out years ago a staff person told, and they later wanted to name a building after that person. Am I reading the right thing? No, I'm not. I'm reading failed foster dog mom's comment. Let me go back to Sean Hammer. Oh, this looks so confusing on my end. The scapegoating goes on, but Thanks to you, Tamara, I am bulletproof to it now. I accepted it all as something I cannot change and have no more inclination to try. I see them for what they are now. Yeah, absolutely, Sean Hammer. And I'm so glad I could help in that for you and with you. I think once you realize, and I'm going to talk about this on Sunday, stay tuned for that video, but I think once you realize that, okay, I'm the scapegoat here, I'm in a family role that is a dead end. I need to get out of here. Get out, right? And once you see them, run. Once you see them for what they really are, run. Awake and peaceful. Hello, welcome to the chat. We're just about to wrap up. There was a little bit of an error in the video performance earlier. So I may have missed you, but welcome to the chat. Says, Awaken Peaceful says, how to heal while living with an emotionally immature and somewhat narcissistic parent. I'm not the best at saving, but I'm trying to do better so I can move out. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's all you can do is try. My grandmother used to tell me all the time, if trying is the only power that you have right now, keep using it. Keep trying. That's your power right now, to just try. And you're asking how to heal while living with an emotionally immature and somewhat narcissistic parent. I encourage you to rewatch this, but briefly, I think you need to, number one, identify, and it sounds like you have, what the problem is, then decide on an exit plan that is concrete, that is wise, that is mature, right? That's not going to put you in debt, that's not going to put you in danger, that's not going to destroy your life. And then educate yourself like you're doing on my channel, probably reading books, things like that, to kind of help you. That's really the only power that you have right now to heal. Recognize the issue, figure out what the wise thing is that you need to do and how to do it, how to execute it, and then once you're out of it, figure out how to maintain that healthy place for your mind and yourself. All right. Hello, Liberty Can. Welcome to the chat. Just saw you. Yeah. Okay, that's hilarious. Sean Hammer says, if I had my time again, I would run away with the circus. I don't blame you. Sometimes those relationships are so like, they're so toxic. You just want to get out, right? You don't even process getting out. You just want out. Like your legs start moving before your mind catches up. That's for sure. All right, guys, let's wrap up here. You guys are great. I say this every live chat, and I apologize for that tech issue a couple minutes ago. I look forward to you seeing me on Sunday, because I'm going to kind of break this down a little bit for you so you'll have some more information to go on. And then I will see you in the next live chat. This was a video that was viewer requested. So I'm going through the polls and everything just to see what you guys want to see next. So stay tuned. Awaken Peaceful says, thank you so much, Tamara. I would definitely rewatch this video. Yes, you're welcome. One Love says, Miss Tam is so awesome. Thank God for you all. Thank you so much. And I thank God for you guys. You guys reinforce me and you also teach me, right? Because let me tell you, the things that you share with me in the chats, in the comments, when you email me, and sometimes when you see me for consultations, that just makes me an even smarter therapist, because I get to connect with you and figure out what's going on in your world. So thank you for that. Cherry's Jubilee says, I always wanted travelers to kidnap me. Oh my God, Cherry's Jubilee. You know what? I had a client say that before I sign off. I had a client say that the other day. And they were like, I just wanted somebody to kidnap me when I was a child, because the abuse and the toxicity was just so difficult. So I don't feel strange saying that, because my client felt the same way. Thank you so much, Sunkissed Dark and Dainty 01. I appreciate you. Love you guys so much. I will see you in the next video and in the next live chat next Friday. I'll see you then. Love you so much. Bye-bye.